Hey everybody, Joseph Christ here from 4Player Podcast, and we are speaking with, what is your name?
Simon Watts. I'm creative manager at THQ.
Excellent. We've just played some Company of Heroes 2, and what are you guys showing off today?
Okay, so this is our first playable hands-on for Company of Heroes 2. It's our first time letting the media play the game. We're really excited to give you guys hands-on with it. So we've got two different demos that you guys played today, showcasing some of our new features, our new Essence engine, the True Sight system, the Cold Tech system, and just getting you used to the Russian army and some of their nuances and differences.
It's been about 6 years since the first Company of Heroes. Unlike other developers, you guys have taken your time developing a game.
Yeah, so we kind of felt we had big boots to fill with Company of Heroes 2. Company of Heroes 1 to this day is still the highest rated strategy game of all time, and we really wanted to do it justice with the sequel. We didn't want to just rush out a sequel and not be able to make it the game it deserved to be. So we took our time, we waited until technology was in a place where we felt we could really enhance and improve the experience, and that's where we are now. So Company of Heroes 2 hopefully will be all that the fans wanted it to be.
So it's no annual releases for you then, right?
Not unless, no, it's not. It's not about pushing out an annual release. It's about doing the game justice and making the type of game that fans deserve and fans want.
Fantastic. And having said that, what do you think are a couple of the prime things in this game you're most proud of and most showing off today?
So one of the great new things about the new engine is it's let us really kind of add new technology that's never been done before in the strategy genre. So one of our new systems we're really excited about is the True Sight system, which is our line of sight system. It sounds kind of boring when you just talk about line of sight specifically, but we think it's actually a really dynamic change to the strategy genre. So typically speaking, line of sight is kind of a magic circle that you punch in the fog of war, and you can see anything that's within that circle. So you drive your troops up to a wall, you can see the enemies on the other side of the wall, you know to retreat, to get away. Our line of sight system, our True Sight system, takes into account everything in the game world, and it will dynamically block based on what's in the world. So you come up to a high wall, your troops can't see over, you can't see around it. If there's a building on fire and smoke's pouring out of it and being blown by the wind in one direction, that will block your line of sight. So line of sight will dynamically change, which is really exciting because it actually lets players set up ambushes and play in a way you've never been able to play before in the strategy genre. We're also really excited about our Cold Tech system, which is our weather system. Basically, the weather played a huge role in the Eastern Front in World War II. The Siberian winter reached about in 1941 reached about minus 40 degrees, which is pretty cold. It's cold enough to freeze human skin. It's cold enough to freeze fuel in fuel lines, and it had a really big impact on the war. So we've brought that to life in Company of Heroes 2. Our winter maps aren't just a white textured map, the same as a summer textured map. Our snow actually has depth. We can paint on and remove snow. Snowfall can accumulate on vehicles, objects. You can also burn it, destroy it, remove it. Troops will be affected by how they move through it. Deep snow will slow them down, they'll be encumbered. There's also a cold mechanic in the game where the cold actually impacts your troops. So on an extreme cold winter map, your guys will start freezing to death if you leave them out in the open. You're going to have to use fires, buildings, troop transports to kind of protect them from that. And it's a mechanic you haven't seen before. And then the final stage of Cold Tech is our ice system. Like snow, ice actually has a texture. So when you drive over ice, you're going to slip and slide around on it. It's going to be very different from driving on a track or driving on snow. But ice also has hit points and it can be destroyed. So as you drive a heavy tank over it, you're going to see the ice crack around your vehicle. It's going to get weaker and weaker the more stuff you put over it, and sort of a well-placed enemy mortar strike or some other kind of attack could actually destroy that ice and sink the vehicles down. So we think that's a really exciting new feature as well that we're able to bring to life thanks to the Essence 3 engine.
And everything in the levels are all destructible?
Yeah, basically anything you can see is destructible. We have terrain deformation, so large artillery strikes, mortar strikes, things like that, they're actually going to deform the terrain. As I mentioned earlier, snow can be layered on and removed, so that can be destroyed. All the buildings, all the trees, fences can be blown up, burnt down. You set fire to a building, it will dynamically burn. Once it catches, it will burn down under its own volition. So if you walk away, carry on doing something else, come back to that, it will be a kind of a pile of ashes when you come back to it.
That makes the flamethrower my favorite weapon so far.
The flamethrower is pretty awesome.
Flamethrower
Those
is very
engineers
impressive.
with the flamethrowers are a lot of fun. And also, being Company of Heroes, you can kind of equip those squads and you can find other weapons on the battlefield. So you can actually build out that squad and have 2 flamethrowers in it or other weapons. So you can really kind of like dynamically change the way your squad works. But yeah, flamethrowers are a lot of fun.
Looking at the gameplay design, for the demo today, you didn't have base building, but that's returning, of course.
So in the 2 demos that we showed today, the first one didn't have base building. The second one had a base building component in it. So the first demo was very much just getting people used to the core mechanics of the game again. It's not a typical campaign mission. It's by no means representative of what the actual full campaign was going to be like. That was kind of our tutorial mission, as it were. The second mission that we played today, the Battle of Moscow, is a traditional campaign mission. That was the extreme cold mission. And that one, you start off with a base, you can build other buildings. That's your base building mission, and that is representative of what a final campaign mission will be. So we haven't really changed Company of Heroes in a drastic way. We wanted it to still play like Company of Heroes. What we've done with Company of Heroes 2 is we've looked at ways of improving it. It's all about more. It's about giving you more strategic options, more destructibility, more visual fidelity. It's improving on the game in every way. So you'll see the base building is back. We haven't changed that in the game. We've changed up a few ways that it works, a few ways that strategic points and tactical points and things like that work, but the core essence of Company of Heroes is still Company of Heroes.
And what about multiplayer? And I look forward to your vague, dodgy answer.
So yeah, obviously we've got multiplayer. It's a hugely important part of the Company of Heroes franchise. It's something the fans love. We're really excited to kind of bring some of these new mechanics you saw into multiplayer. Obviously, the Soviet Red Army is going to be a new faction for multiplayer. We're not talking about specific details, but one thing I can give you as a little nugget here is we've got a really enhanced new AI system for those players who love playing Skirmish. You guys will have seen that we've actually started using Skirmish AI in campaign as well, and our AI is able to do everything the player can do, so there's much less scripting, it's much more dynamic. You'll see it do some really cunning things sometimes. So, for example, there was a game I was watching earlier, and a bunch of players were kind of capturing a point, and the AI sort of brought tanks in from the front, and as the player tried to retreat from the point, they'd set up machine gun nests behind them, so they'd flanked around, set up machine gun nests to kind of kill them as they ran back into it. So you'll see some really clever things, and the computer AI will play a lot more like a human player rather than a pre-scripted AI now.
Fantastic.
So we'll look forward to show you some more multiplayer sort of at a later date in the campaign.
Great.
And I assume we don't have a release date officially yet, but
We're saying early 2013. We don't have an exact release date pinned down. We're going to wait until the game's a little bit more finished, and then we're gonna lock that window in.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
4Player
appreciate your
Podcast.
time.